A new video from NHK Japan News just came out as Japan really needs workers right now. That's true, and tons of foreigners are coming here, but there is a big dangerous trap waiting for you if you aren't careful. This isn't just news, it's a warning. Hi guys, this is Alan and welcome back to Gaijin World. They are talking about one huge visa type, the engineer/specialist in humanities visa. It's a long name, right? And honestly, it sounds really good. It sounds like a pro job, and that is where they get you. People hear engineer and think, okay, I'm safe. I can do whatever job they give me. Spoiler alert, you can't. This visa is for specific jobs only and using it wrong is dangerous. Let's look at what this visa is actually for. By law, it's supposed to be hard to get. You usually need a college degree or 10 years of real work experience. It is only for office jobs like IT, translating, or managing a business. It is definitely not for simple physical work. That is the rule. If your daily job involves lifting heavy boxes or cleaning floors, you are probably in trouble. Look at that chart from NHK. The numbers have gone way up, 3 times higher in just 5 years. There are almost 460,000 people in Japan on this skilled visa right now. It's the second most common visa here. But when I see numbers jump like that, I have to ask, did Japan suddenly make 500,000 new office jobs? Or are people using this system just to find workers for other things? I think we know the answer. Here is the dirty secret they don't tell you. A lot of people with this skilled visa are being forced to do simple manual labor. I'm talking about factory work, building stuff, cleaning hotels, or washing dishes in kitchens. Guys, that is 100% against the law with this visa. And the scary part, if immigration finds out you, the worker, are the one who gets sent home immediately. NHK went to a support group right here in Tokyo. They help foreign workers, especially people from Vietnam. The staff there looked tired. They said, "We are getting more calls for help than ever before. The phone just keeps ringing with people who are scared and crying. When the people who help are this busy, you know it's a really big problem." The story is almost always the same. People call in terrified, saying, "My boss is making me do work that isn't on my visa." Or, "I was hired to translate, but I'm washing dishes." Guys, if you have ever felt that fear in your stomach, that feeling that you might be doing something wrong but you're too scared to say anything, this is why you need to know the rules. Not knowing the law won't save you. To show us what's happening, they introduce us to Tran. That's not her real name. You can feel how stressed she is. She was fired suddenly after only being in Japan for 1 year. She thought she was safe. She thought her skilled visa protected her. She had no idea she was in danger the whole time, just waiting for something bad to happen. The saddest part of Tran's story, she didn't even know she was breaking the rules until she asked for help. She thought her job was real. She thought the company did everything right. But the work she was doing was totally banned for her visa. She didn't mean to do anything wrong, but the system hurt her anyway. They show us photos of her family back home. This really hits you. Back in Vietnam, Tran wasn't an unskilled worker. She was an accountant. She went to college. But like so many of us, she came here because the money back home just wasn't enough to feed her 4 kids. She made a sacrifice for her family, hoping for a real career. This part makes me really upset. To get this job, she paid a broker over $7,000. In Vietnam, that is a huge amount of money. Years of pay. She paid all that just because they promised her a good job in Osaka. $7,000 just to be lied to. If you wonder why people don't just quit bad jobs, this is why. They are in debt before they even start. So she flies to Japan and guess what? She's not in Osaka. They dropped her in Nagoya. The plan changed just like that. A guy picks her up and puts her in an apartment for a month with no work at all. That change, promising one city and taking you to another, is a huge warning sign. When the location changes, the rules usually get broken too. Just imagine how scared she was sitting in that empty room. Her savings are going away on food and rent. She has that big debt back home. She's sitting there thinking, did I get scammed? How will I feed my kids? That fear breaks you. It makes you desperate. So when they finally offer work, you take anything just to survive. And then the job finally starts. Was it accounting? No. It was washing dishes and frying food in a hotel kitchen. This is 100% not allowed for her visa type. She was basically working in secret, doing physical labor that her visa says she can't do. She went from being a professional accountant to an illegal dishwasher. Here is the twist that shows how the scam works. She was working in Nagoya, but NHK looked at her papers and it said she was hired by a company all the way in Tokyo. This is important. The papers looked fine to the government, but the real job was a lie. Perfect paperwork can still hide a messy illegal reality. NHK found the boss of that company in Tokyo. And what did he say? He claims he knew nothing about it. He was shocked. He says an old employee stole his company's name to fake the visa applications behind his back. Can you believe that? Even real companies are being used for scams without knowing it. The boss said something scary. It is actually super easy to fake these papers and get visas if you know the tricks. That is a big problem. Our whole system relies on papers being true. If scammers know they can just copy a document and fake a contract to get you here, the whole system is weak. Here is how it works. It's a team effort. You have a bad guy here in Japan working with a shady broker overseas in Vietnam. They make a fake job ad for a job that doesn't exist and boom, you're trapped. It is a pipeline designed to take advantage of people's dreams. And of course, it's about the money. They charge the worker thousands of dollars in fees, split the cash, and use the stolen info to get the visa. It's not hiring, it's selling entry into Japan. That is why these scams keep happening, because the middlemen make so much money. So the worker arrives expecting a desk job, but that skilled job, it was never real. Once you are here, they throw you into any cheap physical job they can find because they know you have debt to pay and can't say no. That is the trick that turns a legal worker into an illegal worker instantly. The NPO director called this a lawless zone. I get what she means. If no one is watching and no one checks the work sites, scammers win. The people who get hurt the most are the foreign workers. You pay the price with your money and your legal status. It is very dangerous to be in this spot. NHK asks, why is this happening now? It's because companies really can't find Japanese people to do these jobs. They need bodies in factories and kitchens, and bad actors are using this loophole on purpose to get them even if it's against the law. They mentioned the trainee program, the one with all the horror stories about low pay and bad treatment. Because that system has such a bad name and stricter rules now, shady bosses are looking for an easier way to get cheap workers. And NHK makes a key point. Once the trainee rules got tough, some companies changed their plan. They realized the skilled visa is faster, has less checking, and looks better on paper. It became the new shortcut for shady companies to get people in the door without the hassle. So instead of saying, we need trainees for manual work, they say, we need engineers. It's the same need for workers, just a different label to trick immigration. They left the door wide open to get talent, and the scammers walked right in. If you're watching, don't assume the name on your visa protects you from bad work. Think about this. Trainee visas require Japanese tests. You have to prove you can speak. The skilled visa, usually you just need a college degree. You don't even need to speak Japanese. That makes it so much easier for brokers to sell this lie to people who might not be ready for life here. The brokers use that. They tell you, it's easy, no Japanese needed, you can bring your family. They sell you a dream of an easy life, but they are selling you a nightmare. If something sounds too good to be true, especially with big fees, it's a huge warning sign. And then there is the debt. Once you are here and you owe $7,000, you are stuck. You can't just quit and go home. That is why people accept bad illegal jobs, because they aren't free to leave. That is debt bondage happening right here in Japan. It gets darker here because the middlemen have all the power, long hours, pressure, threats. If the worker complains, the middlemen say, we will tell immigration, or you will never pay off your debt. They use your fear against you to keep you quiet. The expert says it perfectly. This ruins careers. You come here with a college degree, hoping to learn engineering or business, but you spend 3 years washing dishes. You learn nothing. You gain no skills. It kills your career. You end up worse off than when you started. He warns about getting stuck. You stay in low-paying jobs forever. You can't get promoted because you aren't learning anything new. And every day you live with the risk that immigration will knock on your door, find out you're doing the wrong job, and take everything away. And they talk about mental health, which is so important. Being alone, the fear, feeling like you don't fit in. People forget how fast that breaks you down, especially when you're far from home. You don't speak the language and you are scared of the police. So is the government doing anything? Well, the report says they claim new rules are coming next January to stop this mess. They know it's out of control. We'll see how tough they really are, but at least they are finally admitting there is a problem. They are talking about punishing the companies that hire people illegally. Honestly, good. They need to say clearly, using a skilled visa to hire a dishwasher is a crime. If only the worker gets punished, the system stays broken. The bosses need to be punished too. Here is the big problem for Japan. If this country gets known for tricking workers, smart, talented people will just go to other countries. Trust is everything when you move your life. If Japan breaks that trust, they lose the workers of the future. Bottom line, Japan needs foreign workers, but it has to stop these scams. We are the future here, but not if we are being used. Please guys, check your contracts. Don't trust shady brokers. Stay smart, stay legal and safe out there. This is Alan from Gaijin World signing off.